I'm Neil Mapes. I'm here in the Cotswolds as part of a research project funded and supported by the CLAW Social Leadership Programme. This is one part of 3 parts to do with the research into dementia and green exercise. And you'll be seeing a gentleman called Brian and his wife June. And Brian is living with dementia and takes regular green exercise in these beautiful surroundings of the Cotswolds alongside this canal.
Hi, before I introduce myself, I introduce you to Jack. Come here, Jack. Look around there. Big black Labrador. And I am Brian. Not a big black Labrador. A rather elderly ex-civil servant who has dementia, which I don't like, but I live with.
So Brian, thanks very much for having me join you in your lovely abundant garden here. We're surrounded by potato bushes and
watch out for the triffids.
watch out for the triffids. The potatoes are coming. Triffids are next. So so we're about to set off on your canal walk.
Yep.
And this is something that you do regularly.
Yeah, every morning, regular as clockwork. Well, yes, weather permitting. If it's absolutely thundering it down, then no. Jack has to wait till later in the day.
So this is your canal?
Yep. All the ducks, coots and moorhens and goodness knows what else in there.
Yeah, I love the bulrushes, these.
Yep.
Yeah, they're really nice. I remember playing them with those as a kid.
Yeah.
How often do you come out on this walk, Brian?
Every day.
Yep.
Very occasionally I'll alter it and I'll dive off somewhere else. Specifically if it's very wet, because it gets a fair bit muddy. Yeah, look at the ducks.
And so do you get out in all weathers? It's really sunny today and it's sort of a lovely warm day today, but do you get out in the winter too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. 365.
365 every day?
If I'm here, then it's very, very rare that I won't walk. Very rare.
And sometimes you come out for a short walk and sometimes the walk takes longer?
Yeah, yeah. It's all according as to what we're doing or what I feel like. I mean, Jack will walk all day long if he wants to.
Yeah, enjoys the trotting up and down the canal.
Oh, yeah. I like to walk for an hour if possible.
And so do you always stick to the canal path?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's difficult to get off the canal path. It's well defined, it's fairly well kept. I wouldn't want to get off the canal path, and it's impossible to get off the canal path at times.
And do you take any technology with you? Do you take a mobile phone or anything else?
I've always got a mobile phone with me, just in case. If I go down, it's always reasonable to think that I can call for assistance.
Yeah.
Because number 1 son lives just the other side of this. Granddaughter there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh right, that's your granddaughter on the bridge?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
What
hello,
are you doing, darling?
Do you find that you have good days and bad days, or good times and bad times in the day?
Very much so sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally if it's going to be a bad day, I can normally tell by the time I get back from the walk, and I'll say to June, going to be a bad morning this morning. So,
Right, so you can tell whilst you're out that it might be a bad day today.
Just one of those things that you sense.
Yeah. And so, can you also get the same feeling when it's going to be a good day, when you're feeling your best?
If I'm not getting the bad day syndrome, then yes, it'll be a good day. That's as easy as that.
And so how does it feel when you're feeling your best, when you're on your good day, you're at your best, you're feeling well?
Happy, carefree, cheerful, looking forward to doing a few things. But when it goes the other way, I really don't want to play.
Yeah.
No, just take it easy and keep out of trouble's way.
So how long have you been doing these sorts of walks? Is this something you've been doing recently, or just been doing a long time?
I've been doing it for most of my life, really. I lived out when we moved down from London. As a kid, I was 4, and there were no other children that lived near me, so I was very much a loner. And it was just a case of finding something to do to amuse myself. So I used to go and wander around the countryside.
What do you particularly like about here?
It's nice countryside. It's countryside that similar to what I've known most of my life in the west of England.
Yeah.
It hasn't altered an awful lot. If you've got a canal and if you've got walking paths beside it, you've normally got a fair bit of flat land around and old houses, old villages.
Yeah, and we're standing next to one of these old places now. Yeah.
About 1815, 1817, I think this was built.
How important is the scenery to you?
Oh, it's always important.
Yeah.
I see it every day, but it's always important.
Is getting out walking in nature, is it a thing that you feel very strongly helps you stay independent?
It helps me stay independent. It gives me another form of independence, because while I am out there on my own, I have got to look after myself. I've got to be dependable on myself.
Yeah.
So it does help with the illness that I've got.
Okay, right, that's really interesting. Yeah, there's only you to depend on. You've got to be...
I'm there on my own with Jack.
Yeah.
And he has to depend on me as well.
Yeah, so you've got to look after your dog as well as yourself. Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's important.
What effect does the walking, going out every day, have on your quality of life, have on how you feel about yourself?
I feel it's a good way to start the day. We're going for walkies? Yes! Yes, we are. Walkies. It's very, very satisfying. It puts you in your place. You see that, you're not all important, and you don't want this, want that, want something else, because everything around here is yours, so to speak, because you can look at it and do what you like with it. I love it. I just like the open countryside. Yeah. And if you've got good weather, it's even better. But I've walked this in the pouring rain, and it's still the same, You just get wet.
Yeah. How do you feel that the walking out in nature influences your condition, your symptoms associated with dementia?
I think possibly it has an effect of damping down the symptoms.
Interesting.
It's something that I don't really think of. It's an illness that I've got, I know I've got it, and I'm stuck with it from now until the day I die. So, if you like, I tend to put it behind me and try and ignore it.
Yeah.
And that's quite easy to do when you've got everything to see and do and take in when you're out for a walk. If
If there was and let's hope this doesn't happen, but if there was an injury or if you were temporarily ill or you had the flu or something stopped you from getting out walking, what effect would that have in the sort of in the day-to-day?
I would hope that it would only be a short period of time that I couldn't walk.
And how would you feel about not being able to get out on your walks?
Discontented.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the walk. I would be discontented because it would mean that I couldn't get Jack out, and possibly it would be then down to June to give him a walk.
Yeah.
And she would have enough, if I'm not well, she would have enough to do if she's looking after me.
The government and policy and people that write all these policies and things have, and some of them are very nice people, I'm sure,
Of course.
are increasingly using this phrase, and I'm increasingly hearing this phrase, living well with dementia.
Yeah.
So does that mean anything to you? And if so, what does it mean?
I think it's up to the person who has dementia. Having the strength of mind to put it in place. It's not life-threatening in itself. It can be life-threatening if you are doing something that you shouldn't do and you've forgotten that you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Something stupid. But if you've got something like this and you sit at home and you mope all the time, you don't go out, you don't do this, you don't do that, it can tend to overcome you and it keeps playing on your mind.
Okay. Right.
And it then becomes syndromatic.
Okay. Right.
So, yeah, I don't necessarily think, am I going to be better or worse when I go out for a walk in the morning? I go out for a nice walk.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, indeed.
And
yeah.
99 times out of 100, I have a nice walk, irrespective of what comes up.